Welcome back to the lunch table, everybody. Hip hop food for thought. I'm Nico Blitz, and we are back at 5A Label Studios in downtown LA.
Yes, sir.
I'm on this like Asian hype right now, mainly because I'm Filipino. But it's like I feel like nowadays it's an important time to really highlight Asian artists.
Mm-hmm.
And today I have a very special guest. He does a whole bunch of things, a plethora of things, if you may. He is an R&B singer. He is a dancer. And low-key, he's like an Instagram model fitness person, man.
You're blowing me up, man. You're blowing me up.
I was low-key creeping on his Instagram, but... Hey, pause. But...
Pause.
This guy, Justin Park. Justin.
I appreciate it, man.
Man, Justin Park, he is crazy. So my girlfriend had actually went to K-Town Night Market back in June 2018, and she was like, yo, you need to check out like a whole bunch of these artists that I found on stage. And she mentioned you, Justin Park. And I was like, you know what was crazy? I actually saw your name somewhere over the internet before.
Okay.
I think it was because you did a couple covers and whatnot.
Yeah. You probably saw the cover with Andrew Garcia. That's one of the more popular ones, I
saw the Honey one. I think I seen the Fake Love one,
Fake Love, too, yes.
And, you know, to me, I was like, it's cool that initially I thought you were a cover artist, but you actually put a little twist in your music, man.
Yeah. So if you actually listen like super carefully, that's the reason why we call it a remix, because we throw the normal beat, like Loyalty, for instance. It's one of the
that
other.
One was fire.
That's my favorite remix that I've done so far.
Yeah.
So we just play the beat, and I would just rewrite the whole song. Even the chorus, some parts of the choruses are a little different the way I sing it. So we just called it a remix and released it, and the fans loved it. So like, when I'm working on the album or the mixtape, it was the mixtape previously, but now it's the album. Like when we were working on it, all the fans were just like, oh man, we wish like you'd release more content so that, we're not just here waiting for nothing,
Yeah.
So I'd put those remixes to work. Like I'll do it in a couple days and just post it, and people were like, wow, this is amazing. It's a good take on, this hot new song that just came out, and like we really appreciate it. So I love doing that for the fans.
Honestly, man, that's how like R&B singers do though.
Yeah, like T-Pain, Chris Brown, like Trey Songz, they've done a bunch of that kind of stuff. So I take after them in that way, yeah.
Okay, so let's get to T-Pain and Chris Brown. What was it about like those guys that really stood out to you?
Well, to be honest, it's just like that's the kind of music that I listen to, and like not new age, but the new style of R&B that we have today, like pop R&B, whatever's playing, it's gonna be like Chris Brown or whoever's like that kind of tone or whatever, who plays that hip hop-ish R&B type vibe. Like that's what I listen to a lot.
Okay.
So I'd say those are my favorite artists right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then, how before you became this Justin Park Instagram model, singer, all that, like who were you before that?
Who was I before that?
How did you even start in music?
Well, I don't think anything has changed much from before, especially like in terms of my personality. I think I've always been this goofy kind of, people-loving, enthusiast, optimist. Like,
I just met you like last week, and you were like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'm like, "Damn, I love your energy."
Right. But I think one thing that has changed over the years is definitely like this calmness and this like focused mentality. So like I'll be all of that. I'll be all over the place, but when it comes to work, I'll just be like, come back to like square one, the fundamentals. Like here, we're gonna attack this S like crazy. We're gonna get the shit, So, yeah.
I mean, were you kind of just all over the place when you were a kid?
Before, oh man, dude, if you see me when I first came here when I was 17, just like I was a ball of energy, man. I was just ready to do whatever, and I was just like, man, I could conquer the world. I could do whatever I put my mind to. Like I was that kind of kid. But as time goes by, like that kind of dies a little, because you're like, oh man, the world is real. Like there are real struggles, like bills to pay. Like there are asshole type people out there who will tell you can't do it. But the thing is, if you keep putting yourself to work, and with a lot of the maturity that comes along with your growth, it's like, man, all of that is bullshit. Like if I'm gonna do this, like I'm gonna do it my way first of all, and I'm gonna make sure that I do it the way that I love it. And so whoever does rock with what I'm doing, like they'll really be a part of my life, because whatever I'm putting out is like real stuff, like these real lyrics, like this is how I feel. So
it seems like your lifestyle is very like Naruto-esque.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's like on the dot.
Really?
Like, okay. So, like, for me, the reason why I like, for instance, like, Chris Brown and, like, Will Smith is because, like, I'll go back to the Naruto thing in, like, 1 second. But, like, they have, like, this kind of vibe to them that's, like, it's so, like, they're goofy, but, like, at the same time, in some weird way, they play this heroic type role, and like, you know, whatever they do, they want to do the right thing.
Kind of,
and
they
like,
always have their backs pushed against the wall, and they have to figure out.
They're the underdog at some point, whatever, but then they come out the most heroic person or whatever. So for like Naruto, for instance, and Dragon Ball Z, like those are two huge things in like my life, because for one thing that I can really remember is watching Naruto and like crying like all the time, because it's so touching, you know, in those moments where Naruto's like, he's like, I gotta do it, like, you know, but like there's no way out, man, you know what I'm saying? But he's like this goofy type character, and like that's like who I kind of aspire to be, because, you know, to be a hero and to, you know, to be that super dark like Batman type guy, like that's not me, you know. So I love the energy and like the happiness and, you know, just the good vibes of life, you know.
Well, I'm happy you carry yourself that way, man, because I don't really come across too many optimistic people going about their life that way.
Definitely.
And I can really tell in your music, because all your music's just happy, man. Like, I was literally in the car with Jasmine, and she was like, man, it just sounds like like you're driving around in LA on a Sunday, and you could kind of just like frolic and be free.
That's a good way to say it. Especially Exoluber. That's one of the newer songs that I put out with Amber.
Fire, by the way.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. That song the story behind that song is actually kind of crazy. If you want to go
let's go into it, man.
Okay, so Exoluber is actually like a year and a half or like 2 years old now. And I actually wrote it when I was like 19, 20 years old in Philadelphia.
How old are you now?
I'm 22 now. Just turned 22 like 2 months ago. So I was in Philadelphia, and like, you know, that's the place that I've always dreamed of going. Like, I saw Will Smith and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and like,
sick.
You know, West Philadelphia,
born
and raised.
raised.
I was on the West Side, so like I was doing a show out there at a college, and like the kids who were there just had the best energy, and you know, like to be brought out somewhere and paid and taken care of, like the hotel, all the expenses paid is like, oh whoa, like for me, like especially coming from like, you know, Pasadena or whatever, just a normal kid, like all of that is like, oh man, now I really feel like a star. Like I've been grinding for 3 years at that point, and I'm finally being flown out to perform my own music for people who really dig it and vibe it. Like they wanted me out there to.
And you got that luxury treatment with it too.
Yeah, and that's the first time I ever got it. So I was just like, dude, I can't believe I'm here. First of all, like with the plane ticket and the hotel paid for. Like this is, you know, like I feel like I'm well on my way to achieving my dream, or like
It felt very surreal, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So I was just so happy.
I mean, did you ever think as a kid that you were gonna be this person?
Never, man. Honestly, I didn't even know who I was gonna be, because I was a big outcast as a kid. Like I was just too crazy. Like
tallest guy in the room, huh?
That too. I was just, everything about me was just weird and different, you know. And nobody really wanted to be my friend as a kid.
I mean, how so? What was so weird?
As me, oh my god.
As you.
I was just like, I was a troublemaker. I was like, you know, just too loud. You know, I wanted to have fun all the time. Just like even the teachers didn't like me, because I just be talking in class, and like the other kids would be like, man, this kid talks too much, like he's weird or whatever. And I was like kind of a loner or whatever in like the first years of schooling or whatever, and then I got into like high school, whatever, and I was kind of the popular kid. And I guess at that point I was like, okay, there's more to be confident about, you know. Like life's not, you know, what you see in front of you, like all these kids making fun of me, like whatever, you could brush that off and just be a better person. So that's what I learned in like high school.
I mean, what was it about high school that made you like change your mindset, really?
Well, I told myself that, you know, first and foremost, I come from a broken home, and I think that has to do with a lot with, you know, my confidence and thinking, man, like these kids don't like me, and like, you know, they're teasing me, and like all of that at the same time was just kind of overwhelming for me. And I was like, damn, dude, I really can't get through this. Like, and then I had to go to like therapy at one point, because it just got too crazy. Like I was just like, dude, I don't even want to.
Because of like everything with your family.
Yeah, dude, like at first it was a family, and then like money problems, like school. Like I had to change schools too a couple times, so it was just like hard making friends, you know. Like first and foremost, like I'm this weird kid, and you go to a new school being the weird kid, it's like, oh man, that sucks. You know?
So nobody knows you, and you're weird. You're labeled weird at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. So nobody wants to be your friend. So yeah, my younger years are pretty crazy. But to answer your question, I think in high school I just kind of realized, dude, there's more to life. Like, you know, I got a little older, a little more mature, and I was like, dang, like, you know, there's job opportunities out there. Like I could do music. Like there's just more to focus on than just friends. But in high school,
Amen
I did
to that.
Exactly. But you know, like friends and family are great. That's like the number one thing on my list. And you know, shout out to all my friends from high school. Like we're still best friends. So it's like, you know.
And it seemed like in your Uber XL song too, you were like paying homage to your friends.
My friends.
And family.
Yeah. Okay, that's crazy, dude. You're such a good interviewer.
I was paying attention, bro.
He's so good at this, man. The lunch table, everybody. Y'all gotta watch this at least 3 times a day, man. If you're not even.
Share it with your homies.
Exactly. Subscribe, man.
But yeah, I mean, I get that, dude, because I've just gotten the smoke because I'm from San Francisco.
Yeah, word up to the Bay.
I needed to detach myself from my friends and family for the sake of like what I needed to do. Did you, even though you made that Uber XL song, did you have to detach yourself from your family and your friends just to pursue your music career?
Dude, oh my God, you hit it on the dot. Like, that's actually when I started to not see my friends anymore because like, you know, the year before I was working and, you know, I was just trying to support myself while doing this music thing. And, you know, at the time, like I'd get off work at like 2 a.m. because I was working at this cafe and they close at like 2. And then as soon as I get off, I'm like, dude, I just worked like 8 hours. I want to have fun. So I'd go out and like just get wild with the friends.
After 2 a.m.?
Yeah. So I'd go home. Bro. I'd go home at 5 and then I'd come to the studio at like 2 p.m. or something like that. And that was my schedule, which obviously wasn't good for me. Like my body was deteriorating. I was tired all the time. So I was like, look, I got to focus on my craft. And at that point, I quit my job and I was just doing music full time. Like literally all the money I made came from writing for other artists or performances and whatever. So till now, that's what I've been doing. I don't have a job still. Bro. So it's like, you know.
I mean, it's a very unconventional way to like go about things.
It's crazy.
And you know what's crazy too is just that, you know, we're both Asian. So I'm assuming we have kind of the same type of family.
Oh, yeah.
Ish. How did your family react once you told them like, hey, I'm quitting my job and I'm doing nothing but music full time?
Okay. So my dad, when I was a kid, this is one of the reasons why my parents split up. Like he wanted to be a piano composer and, you know, he was great at the piano, like bless his soul. It's just like, you know, all the puzzle pieces weren't there when it needed to be. So even till now, he's still pursuing that dream, like doing other jobs on the side and whatever. But it just didn't come true, you know? And my mom was, you know, at first she was like, dude, like, especially because our family had a lot of financial issues. It was like, you know, I'd really like for you to go to college and get like a secure job, you know, like work at a, you know, business, you know, do some business or something. I don't know. Like I was going to do that and I almost did go to school. Like on the first day I actually went to school and I dropped out. So I was driving to CSUN. That's where I was going to go my first year of college as a freshman. I was driving there and I was like, dang, like, am I gonna do this music thing? Because at that point I already started. Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna, you know, do school and music at the same time. And I was like, dude, I don't know, like, it doesn't feel right. So I just went and I went to school the first day and I dropped out and I came back and told them, oh, I'm not gonna go to school. They're like, what about your classes? Like, whatever. I'm like, oh, it's okay. Like, I'll figure it out.
So they reacted like they were probably like
they're
crazed.
Like, this kid's like, what are you doing, man? Like, you just got here on the first day. You're dropping out. Like, yeah. So after that, I told my mom already, like, I'm not gonna go to school. I'm gonna do music full time here at 5A. And she was like, it's like, okay. Like at this point, I had some songs out. She was like, oh, like my son can sing, but she didn't, you know. Like I wasn't having any performances or anything.
All you did was like karaoke, huh?
That kind of stuff, and like, you know, little cover videos online. And she's like, okay, well, I know you sing a little, but are you sure you're gonna be a singer? And then I think she just gave me some time to do it, and you know, at some time she's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna cut this off, you're gonna go to work. But it just kept getting bigger and bigger. So it's just like she slowly started to believe in it, and believe it or not, in the beginning it was really hard. Like I had to talk to her, assure her like we're gonna be okay.
I can imagine, bro, because I mean the way I'm piecing things together right now is because she kind of, I'm assuming she grew resentment towards your dad because he wanted to be a composer.
Sure.
So then
it's like, why aren't you bringing money home? You know?
And then just, kind of translating that life into yours, like her baby. It's that's a tough ass pill to swallow, bro.
Right? Because she's like, you know, in her head, she's probably thinking like, oh, I don't want you to go, you know, the same path as your dad. Yeah. You know, so it's like, man, that's crazy.
It's crazy. I keep on bringing up these anime references, but then I can't think of the anime, but there is a reference where it's like the kid wants to be a fighter, and then he didn't. No, you know what? It was Coco.
Coco?
The movie Coco.
Oh, the guitar.
Yeah, the guitarist.
Miguel.
Miguel wanted to be a guitarist because his like grandfather was or something, but then the family didn't really accept it till later.
Right. That's actually,
And then you know, it's crazy because we actually see these things in real life happening, you being one of those examples.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I can't even believe it myself, man. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here telling you this. It just feels so like, you know, it was like a different time of my life too. So it's pretty surprising to like talk about it again. It's like, ooh, like all these emotions are coming out again.
At this point in time, and where you're at in your career, is this everything that you expected?
Dude, honestly, going into this, I didn't know what to expect. Like, well, as I told you before, I was such an optimistic kid. When I was 18, I was like, dude, I'm gonna make it. Like, you know, I'm just like, I do whatever you put your mind to, and like, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then, as the years like went by, like 19, 20, 21, I got a little more pessimistic. I'm like, oh shoot, like, can I really do this? All these other singers out here are busting their asses. Like, I had to learn how to dance and do all these other things that I really didn't know how to do, and I was scared. But the thing is, like, the more I practiced and the more I grew and believed in myself, I was like, wow, this is possible. And so now we're here today.
So it's crazy because I also read up that you, I think you get training from Kinjas, right?
Yes, that is true.
They're huge.
They're huge right now. They're killing
like, dancing
the game,
company right now, man. They're everywhere.
Shout out to the Kinjas.
So you really went into this career not having any prior experience at all.
Nothing really. I mean, I wasn't even really singing in high school to be a singer.
It was just serious?
Yeah. Like, it was my sophomore year or my junior year where I kind of started singing like every day because I loved music and I like wrote raps and whatever like in 8th grade, but nothing was serious, you know. Like I didn't have a vocal coach or anything, so everything I did on my own. And through my own like heart and will, I was like, I want to be a singer, so I'm gonna be one. I went to all these auditions and whatever. And
what kind of auditions were they?
Shoot, well, in the beginning, to be honest, I listened to a lot of K-pop music. Like I thought I was gonna be a K-pop star, man. In the beginning, cause like, okay, my mom put me through like Korean school like every Saturday, so I'd go to that. I hated it. I dreaded it.
Are you bilingual then?
I am bilingual, thanks to her. I tried everything in my power not to learn Korean, but somehow I did, so I'm thankful. The older Justin is like, thank God, and the younger Justin's like, F you, mom, like, I hate you for putting me through this. But I love it.
I mean, I think it's a plus because now you could kind of implement some Korean whenever you make music.
Yes.
And I think that's the coolest thing. Like, whenever I listen to like Asian artists who integrate a little bit of Korean or whatever, it's like I don't understand shit.
Right.
But the way they're like just pushing it out, it just goes hard, and I'm loving it that much more.
Right. I think Keith Ape was one of the first, like, maybe not the first, but one of the bigger ones to do it out here.
Yeah.
Like, he was on social media everywhere after what's it called, Ichima.
Yeah.
That's a Korean word. It's like, don't forget. It's like Ichima, but people.
Yeah, and then he just spinned it to Itjima just for the Americans.
Itjima, yeah.
But I was like, bro, like that's genius, man.
Right. That's smart. That's
genius.
Keith Ape killed it. Yeah.
I mean, the way K-pop is going. I mean, K-pop is huge, and Asian Americans are making it now. Like, why do you think right now is like a good time for Asian Americans to really push their music out? Because we don't see a lot.
Yeah. Okay, this is just my perspective. From what I've seen and, you know, living in LA, like, it's a huge mixing pot, man. Like, and for, like, I got to give credit to the people who really, like, F's with Asian shit. Because, like, I know a lot of black homies, Mexican homies who love me because I'm Asian. And, like, at first, they wouldn't understand, like, oh, why does your house smell like this? Or, like, why do you take your...
I know exactly what you're talking about.
No, Yeah, so, like, they'll be like, why do you take your shoes off? Or, like, I don't know, why does your hair look all poofy in the morning when you wake up? I'm like, bro, like, it's because I'm Asian. And then they start to get it. And then they eat your food, and they take off their shoes in the house, too, and they start to understand, like, oh, okay, there's something better about this difference. Like, it's totally different from what I do, but there's something good about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, even with... you know, just Asians in the media and everything, like, it's because there's so many other Asians feeding off of previous Asians, like Harold, you know, from Harold and Kumar. Like, I watched him growing up, and he was like one of the only Asian faces that I saw on TV. And I was like, oh man, like, this is something that maybe I can do. So he inspired me. Like, other Asians too, like Jackie Chan, like all these guys who actually did it and made a name for themselves as Asians, like, I think that inspired a whole group of Asians to be like, you know what, fuck it. If they could do it, we could do it too. And they just keep trying no matter what. At failure after failure, they just keep trying.
Even in terms of hip-hop, it's like you had, so I'm from the Bay, so it's like DJ Qbert, you had Jin.
That's true.
Over here, it's a Dumbfounded.
Dumbfounded is the K-Town legend,
Yeah, K-Town legend, man. And shouts out to him. But it's like, I've seen all these Asians really make it to whatever degree of success they made it to, and I'm like, wow. Now... I think now it's really come into effect where I see people like you, I see people like Demi and, you know, like 5A, obviously, and people really are trying to, like, make it out here. It's a really good time for Asians and just, like, entertainment in general.
I really think it is. I mean, I think we have such a long way to go because, like, even with, Like, shout out to Aquafina in Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she got a part in that, and it's just like, you know, that's a big thing. Like, Crazy Rich Asians is out. That's like an all Asian cast movie in America. Like, that's huge, but we need more of it, you know?
Yeah.
And dang, dude, I don't ever want to see like an Asian person be like, oh, well, you know what? Like, it doesn't matter that Asian people don't get the roles. Whatever, dude, that's bullshit. Like, you know, black culture, like African Americans have been fighting for, you know, that kind of stuff since the beginning. Like, you know, and they're really like united. They're a family. But I think like one thing that kind of just keeps Asians apart is the fact that, you know, we are grouped as Asians, but there's so many different types of Asians. So it's
I mean, you know, to be honest, man, like, if I walk across the street, like, I'm Filipino, so I'm like the brownest of all the Asians. But it's like, if somebody just regularly seen you, like, they would probably think like Chinese initially.
Japanese.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you never really know. But it's like hard. Every single one of these cultures, like from Asia, are so fucking different.
Like, even the food we eat, the languages we speak, are like, it's just so different. And we all have our own pride. Like, Filipino pride, like, my girlfriend's Filipino, so her pride is super, like, you know, and Korean pride is super, like, Japanese pride is, you know, like, all these Asian groups have so much pride, but I really feel like if we can come together as a community, it's like we can really make a change, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're Chinese or Japanese, like, as long as you're willing to learn about each other's cultures, and man, I think that's just so powerful. Like, when I see that, I want to cry, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude, because damn, that kind of like gave me a rush too.
Yeah, man. Like,
but it's like, you know, it's beautiful to see all these cultures do different things, and it's like, at the end of the day, it's like we kind of just like reword things.
Yeah,
it's like our own. Like, I mean, I guess one universal thing really is boba. We all understand boba. We
all love boba. That is true. Any Asian country you go, you'll find boba.
We all love boba, but it's like, especially when it's just all meshed together in music. Yeah. I'm like, bro, like, this is something like very beautiful.
Right, definitely.
And I never thought I can hear, like, for instance, like Demi, for example, she's Chinese, but she was speaking Korean on her Soju song.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
Demi,
like,
she's an anomaly. She learned Korean herself, like watching dramas and stuff. So that's like crazy. I can't do that. I can't.
I mean, it's gonna be crazy once we see all these different cultures of Asia like meshed into hip hop or, you know, even like R&B, because it's going to be beautiful for the United States to really just like push that out. So a little bit more into my research. You only have like 4 songs out right now. On Apple Music. My favorite one is actually Namaste.
Oh, okay.
I was laughing because of like the wordplay.
The Namaste.
The Namaste. But really also because like it was like one of those like simpy songs. I'm like, yeah, man, I feel like cuddling with my girl right now.
So simpy, yeah.
How'd that even come about?
Namaste, oh man, Namaste is a super emotional song.
Namaste.
Namaste.
No, that was hella off key.
You're good, bro. No, I'm just kidding. But Namaste is actually a really sad song. It's like when this comes from a real relationship that I had with somebody that just didn't turn out well. It's just like, it was, I mean, you can listen more to the lyrics in the song. I don't want to talk about it too much, but it's like, man, like all the songs that I have really come from like a real place. Like Dates in LA 2 was about a real event that happened.
And Dates in LA was the first song you ever written and released.
Yeah, that's why it was like one of the bangers. People say it's a bop. I don't know. Like, we'll see.
It's a bop, man. I fuck with it.
Thank you.
Was that your girl in the video?
No. Those are actually
that
friends.
Tricked me.
Those are okay. So that's crazy. Okay, because Dates in LA, we wanted to shoot so it actually looks like these people were like some people, parts of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm glad it turned out the way that it did. Because I was so scared when I shot Dates in LA because I had to film it myself on my iPhone. It was shot on my iPhone.
Wow.
So like we had this little like dolly thing that didn't work. Like the Bluetooth on it shut down like every 10 minutes. So like it was so hard to get these shots. And like I had to act a little bit to make it look like we were actually girlfriend and boyfriend. Yeah, girlfriend and boyfriend.
I mean, I was sold, man. I was definitely sold.
But yeah, I mean, if it's to the point where you're like, oh, are they actually your girl?
That's actually his girl.
Yeah, but that's shout out to Leah and oh man, shit, what's her name? We're gonna have to cut this part. Kat. Shout out to Leah and Kat for the Dates in LA videos. You guys are awesome.
That's cool, man. Yeah. I mean, so going back, you said that you make every song from like a personal space.
I try to take everything from here, yeah.
Yeah. So then how many songs are we expecting on your
album?
On your new album that's coming out in August?
Yeah. It's it's coming out very soon. We don't know exactly when the date is, but we're going to say within a couple months. And all of like most of the songs are gonna have videos with them too, because I know the fans have been waiting for so long, like 2 years plus.
Yeah.
So, but this album is gonna be lit. Like we have some amazing producers who have listened to it and co-signed on it. They're like, okay, we're gonna work with you.
Like who?
Yeah, and the crazy thing about this album is it keeps growing, because like some of the songs on here are like 3 years old, and some of them are like I just wrote it last week.
Yeah.
And you can really see the difference in my voice, my writing, and like just the attitude that I have within the song.
Maybe even like maturity too.
Maturity
because
too.
3 years
It's
apart,
a
like
huge
your
song.
mindset changes so much.
So much, yeah. So like some of the newer songs have way better production than like the previous ones, because like you know, like I just said, like I got hella cosigns by great producers right now. It's just kind of blowing my mind.
What kind of like who? Can you mention any?
I can't say the names, but they've worked with big artists like Chris Brown, like Ty Dolla $ign, like all these guys. So it's gonna be good.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm really happy right now.
So what's the album called?
Oh, the album, we don't have a name yet. And we've still yet
title.
We've still yet to. Oh, we have something close to, but I don't want to release it just yet until it's perfect. Like I'm like that. I have this weird OCD about it. So like in the photo shoot, we're also gonna do for that too. And we're working on. Okay, I'll release one of the songs. I think some of my fans know already. It's called "Taste of You."
Yeah.
That's like one of the singles on there. That's gonna be really big, like R&B type vibes, like throwback R&B, definitely.
Nice.
That's one name I can give you.
That's
Taste
of You.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be looking forward to Taste of You and that album dropping sometime in 2018.
Sometime very soon. Yeah.
This is Justin Park, everybody, and you know, thank you for giving us some of your time over here at the lunch table.
Of course, brother. Of course.
We got to do this again in the future.
Of course,
maybe
man.
when the album's done.
Just let me get that phone number. You call me over, man. We got another interview.
Got you, bro. Yeah. Justin Park, Nico, Blitz, the lunch table. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you, guys. I love you.